The following program is brought to you by the Southern California Rapid Transit District and in part by the following companies who share RTD's concern about transit and the environment. GTE, the power is on. Universal Studios Hollywood, where you'll live the movies. The Gas Company, glad to be of service.
Here at Universal Studios Hollywood, when you go back to the future, you experience a movie maker's view of tomorrow.
But the real story of transportation in the 21st century is being planned and built right now, and in some surprising places.
Catalina Island is only a little more than an hour off the Southern California coast, but it can seem a world away. Recently, I took a weekend getaway with valuable lessons for the future of life on the mainland.
Car-loving Californians have adopted tough new air quality standards. The result has been the creation of innovative new clean air fuels. I'll check out some environmentally conscious alternatives to fill her up today and into the 21st century.
And if you're really tired of that hour-and-a-half commute to work, how about making the trip at 186,000 miles a second? That's the promise of an emerging communications revolution.
All this and a lot more on Transit 2000.
When it comes to getting around town, nothing outperforms your phone. So make the call before you make the drive. Clearing the air. All of us at the gas company are working to make it happen. You see, the gas you cook with and heat with is the same natural gas that can drive pollution away. That's because it's the cleanest burning of all conventional fuels. So let's use it wisely. Its abundant supply will help us all down the road. For help and how-tos, call on us, the gas company. Glad to be of service.
This is Adrienne Barbeau asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
Most people know that RTD's Metro Blue Line runs from downtown Los Angeles to Long Beach. But this weekend, I'm packed and ready for an overseas adventure. And I've decided to take the Blue Line to Catalina. Well, not exactly, but pretty close.
You can get a boat to Catalina from San Pedro, Newport Beach, Oceanside, and even San Diego. But I've chosen Long Beach because of the special ease and convenience of the Metro Blue Line and the city's new transit system. Only a few steps from the end of the Blue Line, shuttle buses wait to take me to either of Long Beach's two Catalina terminals. 5 minutes later, I've arrived at an impressive new harborside facility. During the week, 12 boats shove off for Catalina from Long Beach. On weekends, 15 boats are available.
Welcome aboard. Watch your step. Welcome aboard. Watch your step.
Before I know it, the island materializes out of nowhere, and we're easing into Avalon Harbor. A trip to Catalina is a getaway from the fast-paced life on the mainland, but I soon discovered that the island has more to show me than just a good time. Shirley Davy has lived on the island since 1956.
There are a lot of people who've never been here and are constantly surprised when they arrived here about how different it is. They feel like they've come to a foreign country. They talk about the relaxed pace. I think it's the exposure to being able to walk from one place to another and not have to get in your own car and drive and worry about parking. I have a lot of experience with people asking me about, well, when they get here, how do they get around and everything, and I said, you walk. because it's the most popular form of transportation in town.
Since the island's automobile population is controlled by law, getting around Catalina is an adventure in transportation alternatives. Cars may be rare on the island, but convenient tram tours are among the best ways to get an overview of Avalon, and you couldn't get a better guide than laid-back islander Dennis Reidinger.
We elect our own judge here. Our judge is so busy here that he only has court on Friday. Starts arraignments in the morning, does the trials in the afternoon, usually goes home by 1 o'clock. Tough to get a jury when everybody knows who did what to whom.
After my tour, I stopped for lunch at one of the island's finest restaurants. From a harborside table, I have a perfect view of the Avalon Marina and the green pier where I'll make my first tourist stop. It's a popular attraction first created on Catalina, the glass-bottom boat, an excursion that's been world famous since the 1890s. After the tour's official greeter pops up to say hello, we're left to watch an amazing array of marine life just a few yards from the Avalon Boardwalk, evidence of one of America's most precious assets, Catalina's natural environment. A nature center at Catalina's mountaintop airport introduces visitors to the ecology of the island. The center is a showplace for the work of the Catalina Conservancy. Doug Probst is president of the Conservancy.
You're looking at California 100 years ago, here at Catalina, what a lot of Southern California must have looked like then. You find plants and animals here that are nowhere else in the world. There are geology features here that you don't see on the mainland. Again and again we hear people say, don't let anything happen to Catalina. It's the one place I can come to really put my head back together.
Islands remind us of limits in our world, of space, time, and resources. In Southern California, fresh water is a precious commodity. On Catalina, it's even more so. When a developer proposed to build Hamilton Cove, an upscale condominium project in Avalon, the need for adequate water demanded an environmentally innovative solution. For Catalina's local utility, Southern California Edison, the answer was all around, turning the ocean into a reservoir of fresh water. Keith Lefevre runs Edison's operations on Catalina.
Principally what we do here is we take seawater from the ocean and we extract the salt from it, and the processed water becomes drinking water for the residents and visitors of Santa Catalina Island. This is really a microcosm of Southern California itself. I mean, we have everything Southern California has except on a smaller scale. And we certainly have a very environmentally sensitive area. As the state's population grows and the need for water continues to increase, then utilities up and down the state will look towards desalinization in the future.
It seemed whenever I left my hotel, only 18 steps from the beach, I discovered something new from Catalina's environmentally conscious way of life. I certainly learned to live without my car. In the end, it's hard to sum up the feeling you get after a weekend on Catalina, but maybe Islander Shirley Davy came closest.
Probably the best phrase I ever had was, it's just good for your soul.
Coming up on Transit 2000, future fuels, after these messages.
It's coming. Transportation that runs 97% cleaner than gasoline-powered vehicles. In fact, with the Blue Line train from Los Angeles to Long Beach and the electric bus in Santa Barbara, hope for cleaner skies is closer than you may think. It's electric transportation, and we're helping to speed it on its way. Not just energy, creative energy. From Southern California Edison.
This is Ed Begley Jr. asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
My parents think writing in a teacup is hot.
Mom, Dad, say hello to her!
Wow! She's really getting into it!
Excellent!
Watch out!
Backdraft. 10,000 degrees of fun, roaring to life at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Pretty cool, huh, Dad?
Oh, yeah.
This is Susan Rattan asking for your help. Let's clean up L.A.
This famous car from the movie Back to the Future used some pretty strange fuels to make its trips through time. But today, faced with tough new clean air standards, energy companies are developing a whole new generation of clean air fuels that could really take us into the 21st century.
This RTD bus is a glimpse of the future. It doesn't use traditional diesel fuel. It's part of the largest clean air fuel demonstration project in the world.
Things are changing rapidly for us. A lot of our
RTD's Director of Equipment Maintenance is Rich Davis.
In our efforts to get to clean air, we're looking at these various technologies, trying to find a cheap, reliable way of getting there. Our attitude is let's help influence the future. Let's make some things happen.
We could certainly see a...
Paul Webben is a clean fuels specialist with the South Coast Air Quality Management District.
The basic model we're trying to emulate in the transportation sector is the model that we've had in the United States and in California for many years in the utility sector. There are 8 divergent alternative fuel sources for utilities. They can use natural gas, they can use fuel oil, they can use nuclear, you can use hydro. There is a diversity of choice, and that diversity does not exist in the transportation sector because we are 100% dependent on petroleum.
Today, there are several major alternative fuels already in use on America's highways: methanol, ethanol, propane, compressed natural gas, and reformulated gasoline. We'll look at 3 of the most promising options. RTD's 30 low-emission methanol-powered buses are helping to clean the air in Southern California, and 300 more are on the way. For 25 years, methanol has been popular in the world of auto racing because of its high performance and the fact that it's less flammable than gasoline. Roger Penske is a champion race car driver and owner. He's been equally successful as an engine manufacturer, new car dealer, and truck leaser.
Well, certainly methanol, the flash point is higher, so from the standpoint of fire, we see that it's been a safer fuel for us. We get a better burn and we get more power. It's amazing. We took some buses to high altitude that we put on methanol, and the driver said, geez, these perform better. Well, methanol does give you a little bit better performance.
Along with methanol, RTD is road testing a second clean air alternative fuel, compressed natural gas, or CNG. Detlef Stevenson is manager of natural gas vehicles for the Southern California Gas Company.
Once it's in service, the customers using the bus, the driver driving the bus, see absolutely no difference. The only difference is at the tailpipe and what comes out of the tailpipe. With the natural gas-powered bus, it is emitting significantly fewer hydrocarbons, significantly fewer NOx, nitrous oxides, both of which are the prime causes of the smog. My message is that it is not a fuel of the future, it's a fuel for today. Southern California Gas Company is installing 51 stations between now and the end of 1993.
The world's oil companies are far from ignoring all this talk of alternative fuels. In response to the increasing environmental imperatives, ARCO is a leader with ECX, a cleaner-burning, reformulated gasoline. For the president of ARCO Products Company, George Babagan, reformulated gasoline makes wide-scale development of alternatives like methanol and CNG impractical and unnecessary.
Reformulated gasoline is the most cost-effective and least disruptive way to clean up the air. The automobiles that will be produced 3 and 4 years from now, with the technological improvements combined with a gasoline like ECX, will result in virtually no pollutants coming out of the tailpipe. There isn't any alternate fuel that is going to be cost effective compared to that kind of emission level.
Other alternative fuel advocates don't agree, but cost is a critical factor in developing a future fuel strategy. In the short run, changing to alternative fuels will demand changes in vehicle manufacturing and fuel delivery systems. But long-range dependence on a single, non-renewable energy source could be even more costly. Charles Imbrecht is chairman of the California Energy Commission.
Each of the alternative fuels have their own particular strengths, and they need to be used in an integrated plan to take advantage of those strengths to the maximum extent possible. Frequently, air quality problems are a function of how we produce and consume energy in a modern society. In this instance, we can diversify the fuel mix and we can dramatically improve air quality because each of the alternatives represent an improvement compared to conventional gasoline and diesel of at least 50%.
Helping make energy choices is one of the reasons RTD established this high-tech emission testing facility, evaluating most of the major fuel alternatives. Vince Pellegrin is an RTD senior engineer.
The RTD is currently running experiments and looking at all of the leading technologies to reduce emissions from transit buses. Most of the buses are out at the operating divisions carrying passengers in regular revenue service at the RTDs, taking what's been done in the laboratory with this technology and introducing it into the real world.
RTD testing continues, but already it's apparent that there's room for many clean air fuel alternatives.
Reformulated gasoline is a much improved gasoline product compared to conventional gasoline. Methanol represents the single most important opportunity in the near term to displace petroleum fuels and is 50% cleaner than reformulated gasoline. Compressed natural gas is a key to our medium and long-term future and also short-term fleet needs for cleaner fuels.
We're still developing the final fuel mix to take us into the 21st century. But developing energy alternatives will mean cleaner air at the end of the road.
I'm a grandfather. I've got 7 grandkids here. I don't want them growing up with lung damage. We want to be part of the solution. Maybe if we can do a few things right in terms of alternate fuel development and rail and electric and clean air environment way, if in a small way you've played a part in that, that's something you can feel pretty proud about. You feel good about that.
A 21st century way to get to work when Transit 2000 returns.
Clearing the air. All of us at the gas company are working to make it happen. You see, the gas you cook with and heat with is the same natural gas that can drive pollution away. That's because it's the cleanest burning of all conventional fuels. So let's use it wisely. Its abundant supply will help us all down the road. For help and how-tos, call on us, the gas company. Glad to be of service.
Jim, there's a jackknife tractor trailer causing major tie-ups. The freeway looks like a parking lot. Bumper to bumper, nothing's moving. The bridge is an absolute mess. Construction.
There's a much faster way to get around town. Make the call.
Not today.
There's a much easier way to get your foot in the door. Make the call.
Here at the E.T. attraction at Universal Studios Hollywood, if E.T. called home, it would be truly long distance, but a lot quicker than making an extraterrestrial trip. The same holds true for some earthbound commuters who are pioneering a new way to get to work.
A typical Southern California Monday morning. Chris Ogden lives in West Hollywood. He works for GTE in Thousand Oaks, 32 miles away. It's 8 a.m. and Chris is late for work. But not now. Chris's office is only a few steps away. A quick phone call and he's on the job, reporting to his boss in Thousand Oaks.
Great, thank you.
3 days a week, Chris stays home and communicates to work instead of commuting. He's a telecommuter.
A lot of what I do is analysis with computers and making a lot of phone calls. So that really helps out because it doesn't matter where I do it as long as I can get to a phone and a computer. One of the advantages to my working at home is that I can use our electronic mail system, our voicemail, make a telephone call to anyone else. I can send and receive faxes and I can get them right out of my computer. So any analyses or last minute changes that we have to do, we can zap them out there right away.
Telecommuting has a number of other environmental advantages. Fewer commuters means fewer cars. Fewer cars means less congestion, and most important, reduced air pollution. With Southern California's tough air quality standards, exploring alternatives like telecommuting is becoming a way of life. Patrick Zabala is a telecommuter who lives in Upland.
I'll bet all those people over there on the other side right now they're stuck in that bumper-to-bumper traffic. I know what they're thinking. There's got to be a better way.
For Patrick, telecommuting is that better way. He doesn't work at home, but now his morning drive is 7 miles instead of 70. Most days, he goes to this Ontario office building close to home. It's located in a GTE Smart Park, a business complex wired for the future. Inside is an experimental telebusiness work center. Here, local companies lease space for their telecommuting employees. Along with telephones and computers, the work center has all the other office amenities, including copiers and fax machines. GTE's Peggy Matsuda.
Telebusiness work centers have a really exciting future, and I think depending on who you talk to, you can talk to the economic developers and they'll tell you a lot about the economic development implications of bringing new industries and new businesses into their communities. You can talk to high-tech companies like my own, and we'll talk to you all about the telecommunications capabilities that we're developing and that we have developed that have tremendous potential in the telebusiness work center concept. Then you can talk to the environmentalists and they'll explain all about the air quality benefits for that. This is one of those unique programs. There are benefits for everybody. Everybody wins when you look at a telebusiness work center concept.
Steve Pontel is president of the Inland Empire Economic Council.
The largest single export of the Inland Empire is people. We send about 400,000 people a day into Los Angeles and Orange County to work, and they work there, get their paycheck, come back into the Inland Empire and spend it. We believe that a significant economic development tactic is to move the work to the people as opposed to the people to the work.
It seems too good to be true, but is the world ready for telecommuting? Communications consultant Jack Nellis.
The usual problem with people first being introduced to this is they tend to think in the extremes. Well, you know, if people telecommute, for example, you'll never see them again. The manager's reaction to this is say, well, you know, we're going to have some of your people work at home. Invariably says, oh my God, you know, I have no idea what they're doing. If they go at home, you know, how do I know what they're doing if I can't see them? Productivity is going to go down the tubes. They're going to be out at the beach. They're going to be playing golf, you know, all these things. And I am going to be in serious trouble in a month or two when my boss discovers that those people aren't doing anything. What happens in reality is that an employee who is picked to be a telecommuter all of a sudden takes on the responsibility of doing the work himself or herself. It's my job to get the work done. They work harder than if they're in the office. They are significantly more productive. Their stress levels are way down. Their morale is way up.
Now, when Patrick Zabala leaves work, thanks to telecommuting, he not only faces less time on the road, he's saving money on travel costs and contributing to a cleaner environment. And at home, there's even a bigger benefit.
I believe the companies have to come to terms with the traffic and the smog that's out on the freeways. The labor pool is moving far and farther away from Los Angeles. Now I look forward to the end of the day. It's things that I'm going to be doing with my family, in particular my son. We have either Little League Baseball or karate. And now I'm allowed that time to spend with my family versus that used to be the time I was driving home. To me, quality time is just being with them. And that's what counts the most to me.
Surf's up when Transit 2000 returns.
Darryl Strawberry can hit and field. He weighs 200 pounds and can turn or stop on a dime. The new Metro Blue Line weighs over 100 tons, and it can't stop on a dime. You need to be careful around something so powerful. Never try to beat the Blue Line to a crossing or drive around warning barriers. It's no game. So don't play around with the Metro Blue Line, because one hit, and it's over.
Clearing the air. All of us at the gas company are working to make it happen. You see, the gas you cook with and heat with is the same natural gas that can drive pollution away. That's because it's the cleanest burning of all conventional fuels. So let's use it wisely. Its abundant supply will help us all down the road. For help and how-tos, call on us, the gas company. Glad to be of service.
One of the best things about Southern California is being able to get away to the beach.
But getting away on a summer day can be far from relaxing, especially if you have to face the typical weekend traffic jam.
Not if you take an RTD bus or Metro Blue Line.
RTD's new Blue Line is a perfect way to experience the harborside pleasures of Long Beach.
Hop an RTD bus and in no time you're ready to stroll along the boardwalk at Venice.
Another bus lets you sample the sand and surf at Santa Monica.
You can even go as far as Malibu, close by an RTD bus stop on the Pacific Coast Highway.
Call 213-626-4455 for more information about RTD routes to the sun, surf, and other attractions of Southern California's beaches.
Well, that's it. Next time, a special edition of Transit 2000.
In the next few months, thousands of people are going to be trading traffic jams for a new generation of rail transportation. We'll give you a behind-the-scenes preview of coming attractions.
We'll go underground for a peek at the new RTD Red Line and its unique subway art.
And we'll take a ride on the future of commuter rail transportation. Today, the Metro Blue Line. Tomorrow, Metro Link.
Finally, we'll explore an expanded and environmentally conscious bus system tying it all together.
It's quite a story. Next on Transit 2000. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.